Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Profit Plus podcast. I'm your host, Kesha Hill, and today we're diving into how many bank accounts you should have as a business owner. It's a question that many entrepreneurs and individuals grapple with, and today we'll explore various perspectives and practical advice to help you make an informed decision. Let's get started. Welcome to the Profit Plus podcast. This podcast is where we will explore the world of accounting and finance. I'm your host, Kesha Hill, and each week we will dive deep into practices, insights, and stories that inspire you to master the art of accounting. Whether you're seeking clarity in complex financial concepts or looking to advance your accounting career, you're in the right place. So sit back, grab your calculator, and join us on this journey to accounting excellence. Let's get started. First things first, we're going to talk about the basics of bank accounts. Most people start with a single checking account, which they use for everyday transactions like paying bills and withdrawing cash. A savings account typically follows for stashing away money for future needs or even emergency fund. However, as your financial situation becomes more complex, having multiple bank accounts can offer several benefits. Let's break down some of the primary types of bank accounts you might consider. Checking accounts. These are for daily transactions and bill paying. Then you have savings accounts, ideal for short-term savings and emergency funds. Business accounts, because you want to separate your business finances from your personal ones. Investment accounts, which is going to be used for long-term growth through stocks, bonds, and other securities. And then there are specialty accounts, such as retirement accounts, health savings accounts, accounts for specific savings goals, like for travel or education. There are benefits to having multiple bank accounts. Let's look at several reasons why you might want to diversify your accounts. 1, you want to organize and have clarity. Keeping separate accounts for different purposes helps you track where your money is going and ensures that you're saving adequately for various goals. Budgeting. Allocating funds for different accounts can aid in sticking to a budget. For instance, you might have a separate account for monthly expenses, another for savings, and another for discretionary spending. Number 3, financial safety. Diversifying accounts can also enhance your financial security. In the event of fraud, having money spread across different accounts can limit your exposure to loss. Number 4, optimize your savings. Different accounts can offer different benefits, like higher interest rates on savings accounts or lower fees on checking accounts. By using multiple accounts, you can maximize these benefits. Number 5, tax preparation. For business owners, separating business and personal expenses is crucial for tax purposes. Having a dedicated business account simplifies tracking and documentation. For my business, I do have several accounts. I have a operating account, which that's where all of my expenses come out of. I have an income account. That's where all the money coming in goes. I have a savings account, which I have a certain percentage that I put into my savings account. And then I have a tax account, and that's where a certain percentage of the money coming in goes into the tax account. So when I prepare my taxes, I have the money to be able to pay my taxes. Next, we're going to look at personal finance and how many bank accounts you need when it comes to your personal finance. There are 3 scenarios. 1 is going to be a basic setup. 2 is going to be an intermediate setup. And 3 is going to be an advanced setup. Let's talk about the basic setup. At the very least, you should have a checking account for daily transactions and a savings account for an emergency fund. I suggest you start with $1,000 for your personal. If you can do more than $1,000, that would be great. You want to try to have like 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund. This is the bare minimum most individuals should have. Now we're going to talk about the intermediate setup. Adding a second savings account for specific goals such as vacation or holiday or for a home down payment can also help you stay organized and motivated. Finally, we're going to talk about the advanced setup. This is for more complex finances. Adding additional accounts might include a retirement account, investment account, and specialty accounts like health savings accounts or flexible savings accounts. Let's break it down further with some examples and case studies. Consider a young professional named Sarah who has a checking account for her daily expenses, a savings account for her emergency fund, and then a high yield savings account for travel goals, and an IRA for retirement savings. This setup helps her keep track of her finances and keep them organized as she progresses forward toward her goals. This ensures she is prepared for both short-term needs as well as long-term planning. Now we're going to get into the essentials of business finances. For business owners and entrepreneurs, having multiple bank accounts is even more critical. Let's explore the essential accounts you should consider. You want to have a business checking account. This is the cornerstone of your business finances. It's used day to day for transactions, paying vendors, receiving payments from clients. That's basically what your business checking account is, and this is just the basics. Then you want to have a business savings account. You want to separate your savings from your business so that it can help you set aside money for taxes, future investments, and emergency fund. Next would be a payroll account. If you process payroll for employees, you should have a dedicated payroll account that can simplify the process of managing salaries and related expenses. Another account would be a merchant account. For businesses that accept credit card payments, a merchant account is essential. It allows you to process transactions and manage the related fees. Another account would be a tax account. Setting up a separate account for taxes can help ensure you always have enough funds set aside to meet your tax obligations without impacting your cash flow. That's very, very important. There are so many entrepreneurs that wind up getting themselves into trouble because they do not set aside money for taxes. And then when they file their taxes, they wind up taking most of the money out of their regular business checking account, crunching their cash flow because they have to pay their taxes because they never set aside money to pay their taxes. And finally, we're going to talk about a petty cash account. A petty cash account is useful for minor everyday business expenses, such as, I need stamps, or maybe you need gas because you need to go visit a client, or maybe you need toll money. That's what your petty cash is normally for. So here's an example. Consider Jade. She runs a small marketing firm. She has a business checking account for her daily operations, a savings account for future investments in her business, a payroll account for her staff, and a tax account to ensure she's prepared for tax season. This setup is not only going to keep her finances organized, but also helps her manage cash flow and stay on top of her financial obligations. Now we're going to talk about practical tips for managing multiple accounts. Managing multiple accounts might sound overwhelming. Trust me, it's not. But with a few practical tips, it can be quite manageable. Number 1, you want to automate your transfers. So you want to set up automatic transfers to move money between accounts regularly. For example, you can automate transfers from your checking to your savings account and to pay your credit card bills. You want to use technology. Banking apps and financial management tools can help you track your accounts in one place. An app like Mint or YNAB or even your bank's own app can provide a comprehensive view of your finances. Number 3, regular reviews of your account. You want to schedule regular check-ins to review your accounts and ensure everything is on track. This could be monthly or quarterly, depending on your needs. I also suggest that you reconcile your accounts on a monthly basis, and you could use that as your check-in review. Number 4, set clear goals. Define the purpose of each account and set clear financial goals. This will help you stay motivated and disciplined in managing your funds. Number 5, you want to keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. While multiple accounts can be beneficial, having too many can lead to confusion and management challenges. Find a balance that works for you. Here's another example. A freelancer, a graphic designer named Alex. He uses automated transfers to manage his multiple accounts. He has a primary checking account for his daily expenses, a savings account for emergencies, a business account for his freelance income, and an investment account for his retirement savings. By automating his transfers and using a financial management app, he stays on top of his finances without feeling overwhelmed. I'm giving you my expert advice with some common questions about having multiple bank accounts. Question number 1 that I get: is there a downside to having too many accounts? The answer is, well, it could be yes and it could be no. It really just depends on you. Having too many accounts can lead to complexity and difficulty in managing your finances. However, you want to have just enough accounts for you. So you have to decide, do you want 5 accounts or do you want 3 accounts? You definitely need more than just one account, just having your checking account. You definitely should have a savings account. And at minimum, just those 2, but you still need to make sure that you're saving for expenses such as taxes and just having a regular emergency fund even in your business. Question number 2, how do you choose the right bank for multiple accounts? My answer: look for banks that offer low fees and good interest rates and a robust online banking tool. Consider using a mix of traditional banks and online banks to take advantage of different benefits. I personally like credit unions. I think credit unions are very low on fees. If there are any fees, they do give you good interest rates and they do have robust online banking tools, but that choice is up to you. Question number 3, what's the best way to track multiple accounts? My answer: utilize financial management software or apps that can consolidate your account information in one place. Regularly reviewing your accounts and setting up alerts for important transactions can also help. If you have any questions about managing multiple bank accounts, feel free to send your questions in and I can put them in as future episodes. But as far as how to track your multiple accounts, I use QuickBooks Online, and that's the financial tool that I use for my business, and it tracks all of my accounts. But again, that's also up to you. And if you listen to episode number 4, I do talk about accounting software. So in conclusion, the number of bank accounts you should have depends on your personal and business needs. Whether it's for better organization, budgeting, financial safety, optimized savings, or tax preparation, multiple bank accounts can provide significant benefits. Remember to automate where possible, use technology to your advantage, and regularly review your accounts to stay on track. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Profit Plus podcast. I'm your host, Kesha Hill. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this podcast with anyone who might benefit from it. And until next time, keep pushing forward, stay curious, and remember, success is just around the corner.